as it'll be a 2-out hit for the St. Rose Junior as he's going into his senior year. And he's got a 3-hit night, and that is the 11th hit of the ball game for Elmira. Last 2 times the Bellinger has singled, he has come around to score, so maybe trying to signaling something here for his teammates. Taylor Hilson steps in. First pitch to him is going to miss for a ball. Hilson walked and scored in the 6th inning. He's walked 3 times tonight and has struck out in his only official at bat in the 4th inning. And here's a called strike. So 1-1 now with the runner on first. That's inside. It gets away from the catcher, but Bellinger was already making his move back to first base, so he's not going to be able to move up on the ball that got away from Cecilia. Counts 2-1. Elmira, the first time that they have met with the Adirondack Trailblazers this season. They'll meet with them 2 more times next Monday in a doubleheader here at the Smith. And as a pitcher is swung on and missed by Hilson, a fastball up in the zone. Evens the count up. 2's wild on the scoreboard here in the top of the 7th inning with a runner on first. The pitch is going to be high and the count will go full. Zach Bellinger on first after his 3rd single of the night, his 2nd infield single. As 2 big hustle plays from him, not giving up after he's hit choppers towards the short and second base side. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be grounded off of the ankle of Hilson, as that one stays in foul territory. Should Hilson keep the inning alive, Taylor Skirpon awaits in the on-deck circle after an RBI single his last time up. Woody Bryson looks in for his 3-2 pitch, checks the runner Bellinger at first. They're not holding him on. Here it is. And it's going to be a called strike 3 to end the inning, as Taylor Hilson didn't like that one all that much. As it's going to be 2 strikeouts in the inning for Woody Bryson, as it's the 2nd time tonight that Hilson has been called out on strikes. And that will leave a runner on base for Elmira. As we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, as it's 7th inning stretch time here at the Smith. Elmira leading 13-2 against the Adirondack Trailblazers. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning here, as Blake Euler back out to work for Elmira, his 2nd inning of relief, as it'll be the right fielder Longhurst to lead off. First pitches are called strike to him. Garrett Longhurst out of the University at Albany. And this one's going to be swung on and fouled off over on the 3rd base side, as Blake Euler was able to work a 1-2-3 bottom half of the 6th inning out of the bullpen in relief of Sam Sinnen, who went 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, and gave up 2 runs. One of those earned, walked 1, and struck out 2 batters. As an 0-2 pitcher is in the dirt. And here's the 1-2, and that one actually gets by the glove of the catcher, Jordan Taylor. So the count is even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Elmira on top of Adirondack, 13-2. Here comes the pitch. It's swung on a chopper to Delir at short. Delir gloves it, makes the throw to first, and it's in time, just getting the speedy Longhurst going down the first base line as that goes down to 6-3 for the first out. That'll bring in the second baseman, number 1, Dan Priori. As Priori on the night, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. As those were both of Sam Sinnon's strikeouts. First pitch strike here from Blake Euler to start off the at-bat. And now the 0-1 is a slider that went off of the glove of Taylor, missed outside. That one was almost at the head level of the batter, Priori. Also at just 5'7". Here's the pitch, and that fastball is swung on and missed by the batter. Is this just the second time that Euler has worked more than 1 inning of relief? As his 1-2 pitch will miss outside for a ball as the count evens up. And with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Priori, the number 7 batter. Here's the pitch from Euler. That one swung on and missed for strike 3, so not a good night for the second baseman, Dan Priori, as he's got a 3-strikeout night next to his name. And that will bring in the number 8 batter, the catcher, Dan Cecilia, who was 1 for 1 on the night, singled in the 4th inning against Sinan, but then was caught stealing to end the inning 2-3 as he was caught off of first base. And the first pitch will miss outside here for a ball. He also walked back in the 2nd inning and then stole second, but that's where he was stranded. Now the pitch from Euler, swung on a chopper off the glove of Euler, slows it down for Skirpon, makes the athletic throw in time for the out at first. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Elmira on the 4-3 putout. And it's back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Blake Euler as he sat down all 6 batters that he's faced with 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts. Can't get much more efficient than that if you're Pioneers manager Matt Birch. As we head to the 8th inning, Elmira holding on to their 13-2 lead here at the Smith in Boonville, New York. We'll take a break. When we come back, Elmira will have their bottom half of the lineup coming up as it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters in the 8th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And we're back here for the top half of the eighth inning as the pitcher Woody Bryson back out on the mound here for the Adirondack Trailblazers, as he is the fifth pitcher of the night for Adirondack. And kicking things off, it'll be Taylor Skirpon. And here's the first pitch to Skirpon, and that'll miss low and outside for ball one. Skirpon, 2 for 3 on the night with an RBI and a run scored. Now the 1-0 here from Bryson is going to be swung on and missed, even the count up. Elmira leading the Trailblazers 13-2. And this one is going to be off of the pitcher, goes right to the third baseman. The throw is still made in time, but the second Adirondack pitcher that's been hit by a Pioneers line drive is going to result in the first out. As that one will go as a crazy 5-3. So that'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Taylor, for Elmira. Taylor 0 for 2 on the night with a walk. A scored run has also brought in a run. And the first pitch is going to be fouled out of play here by Jordan Taylor. As the count 0-1 to Jordan Taylor. The pitch coming from Woody Bryson, and that one is going to be swung on and missed. So the count 0-2. As it's the 7, 8, and 9 batters up for Elmira in this top half of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch, and that one is going to be low and away. It's the count to be a ball and 2 strikes. Derek DeLear in the on-deck circle for Elmira. As DeLear is 1 for 3 tonight with a single, also a strikeout and a ground out. Here's the pitch, and a good eye by the catcher, Taylor, as that one was in the dirt. And here comes the 2-2. Bryson delivers, and that one's taken inside for ball 3, and the count will go full. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that was going to be outside. Nice job by Jordan Taylor as he works the 1-out walk. Second time that he's walked in this one. Gives Elmira a base runner, as that brings in Derek DeLear. And that is the 11th walk for Adirondack Trailblazers pitching tonight. And a first pitch fastball swung on and missed by DeLear. Elmira with 13 runs on 11 hits. Adirondack with 2 runs on 4 hits. And the pitch, another fastball swung on and missed by DeLear. The count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first, as both of Adirondack's runs came in the bottom of the first inning after Elmira had a 4-run top half of the first inning. Since then, the combination of Sam Sinnen and Blake Euler have been able to keep the Trailblazers off the scoreboard. Here's the 0-2, and that one's going to be fouled. Backing off the fence behind home plate. The count will hold it, no balls and 2 strikes. Chris Kaluzdian in the on-deck circle for Elmira. Got his first hit of the night back in the 6th inning. It was an RBI single. And was out to end the inning on a force-out play at second. There's the 0-2, and that one again fouled back. Another fastball fought off by DeLear. Elmira looking to try and pick up their 10th win of the year. Trying to move to 10-6. And for Adirondack, they're trying to snap a 5-game slide. There's the 0-2 to DeLear. That one swung on, and this one again going to get out of play. Nice job by DeLear to at least extend the at-bat and makes Woody Bryson throw some extra pitches. He's fouled off the last 3 that have come the way of DeLear. Count still remains 0-2. Runner on first, and Jordan Taylor, the 1-out walk. DeLear, the number 9 batter for Elmira. Bryson checks the runner. Here's the pitch, and another one fouled out of play. Pretty soon they're going to start asking for those baseballs back. DeLear keeps following them out of play here. Another 0-2 coming. And that one is driven out to left field. Good contact on that one. Going back to the left fielder. Burns at the wall. And that one's going to be off the base of the wall. And going into third is going to be Jordan Taylor. As that one just missed, being a 2-run shot for Derek DeLear. By probably about 6 inches as it hit off one of the top of the banners out there in left field. So it's a loud 1-out double for Derek DeLear. His 2nd hit of the night. And it gives Elmira their 12th hit. And for DeLear, checking at his extra base hits. That'll be his 2nd double of the year. And it will bring in Chris Kaluzdian. So runners on 2nd and 3rd now for Elmira. Here's the first pitch from Woody Bryson. That one swung on and fouled out of play over on the first base side. Just about the same exact spot where DeLear sent 2 foul balls in his at-bat. And here's the pitch. That one's driven out to left field by Kaluzdian, and that's going to get down for a hit. And they're going to hold the runner DeLear up at third, so it's going to be an RBI single for Chris Kaluzdian, as that makes it a 14-2 ball game. As DeLear was rounding third hard, he probably could have scored more, but no sense of really sending him when you're up 14-2 in the top of the 8th inning. So it's back-to-back hits for Chris Kaluzdian after his night started off 0 for 2. Picks up now RBI number 9 on the year for him. And that'll bring in TJ Dixon. First pitch to him will miss low in the dirt. As Bryson checks the runner, Kaluzdian at first, and the pitch goes high and outside for ball 2. Kaluzdian does have 1 stolen base in the night. That was back in the 1st inning after he was walked to lead off the game by the starter, Raleigh Lacey. Actually a pretty good baseball name when you think about it. And a strike called here to TJ Dixon. That one looked to be pretty low in the strike zone. But it'll get him set. Well, the 2-1 pitch coming, and runners on the corners, and 1 away here in the top of the inning. The pitch is going to be fouled back now. So the count will even up. We work here in the 8th inning. Elmira now a 14-2 lead. After the RBI single by Chris Kaluzdian. Bryson looks in for the long sign from his catcher, Cecilia. There's the pitch, and that slider is going to move down and away and out of the zone. So the count full. To the number 2 batter, T.J. Dixon. Nick Walker in the on-deck circle for Elmira. And this one's fouled back. A healthy fastball there from Woody Bryson. Just fought off by Dixon. So we'll try things again here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Elmira trying to keep the inning going with Dixon at the plate. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and missed. And as Dixon couldn't make contact with the fastball up in the zone. And that will be the second out. First time that Dixon has struck out tonight. So since coming in with 1 out in the 6th inning, that is the 4th strikeout for Woody Bryson. So Nick Walker will step in. He's walked twice tonight, singled, popped up, and struck out. First pitch to him is going to be low for a ball. And now the 1-0 in the dirt. Nice job by Cecilia, though, to keep that one close enough to him for the runner, Kaluzdian, not to be running over at first base. So for the Trailblazers, that'll at least keep the option of a force out at second on the table here, should they get Walker to hit something up the middle. DeLear leads off third. Kaluzdian first, and this pitch is over the head of Walker as he had to bail out of the way. Dropped his bat and all. As the count is 3-0. As a fastball came from the big 6'4" frame of the left-hander, Woody Bryson. Finishing up his freshman year at Villanova. And the 3-0 pitch is going to be a called strike, a breaking ball. We'll get in there. See what Walker can do here. With another pitch coming. Now a 3-1. And that's going to miss for ball 4. So it'll load the bases for Elmira with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. As that will be the second walk issued by Bryson, and the second in this inning. He also walked Jordan Taylor, who came around to score on the RBI single by Kaluzdian. So that's the 3rd walk that Walker has taken tonight. That'll bring in Christian Santisteban, but it'll bring out the Trailblazers manager Matt Leahy first. Santisteban's night started off very good as he kicked off the first inning with his first triple of the year that gave Elmira a 3-0 lead at the time as he brought in 2 runs. And then in the second inning, had a 3-run home run, his second 3-run home run of the year. But since then has struck out twice and walked and scored a run. As it will be a pitching change here for the Trailblazers as they'll go to a right-hander now against Santisteban. So the night for Woody Bryson will be over. And it'll be the 6th pitcher of the night for the Trailblazers. And the new pitcher for the Adirondack Trailblazers will be number 12, Brad Jones. As Jones listed as a catcher on the Trailblazers lineup, on their roster, excuse me. Take a look here for Brad Jones, as this will be his first pitching appearance this season. Pitch here is popped up and out of play, as that one came right back behind us. So the count will be no balls and a strike. There's the 0-1 to Santisteban, and it's a called strike 2. With the bases loaded here for Elmira in the top of the 8th inning. And that one will miss low and away. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. As 2 walks in the inning and a single have gotten Elmira their base runners. And now this one will miss high and outside. Santisteban awaiting the pitch here, trying to bring in some more runs for Elmira. As this pitch is outside, so a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes, nowhere to put Santisteban without bringing in another run. As Elmira leads 14-2 here against the Adirondack Trailblazers. Here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on, skied high in the air over to right field. And making the catch is going to be the right fielder, Longhurst. And Elmira will leave the bases loaded here at the Smith in Boonville, New York. As Elmira looking to try and make their 10th win of the season a good one in their first outing against the Adirondack Trailblazers. As Elmira will be back here for a doubleheader to round out the month of June on Monday, June 30th. But before then, Elmira will have their first off day of the season tomorrow. And then they will hit the road on Wednesday, July 25th, as they'll make their second trip of the year to Watertown to take on the Rams. And then they'll host the Utica Brewers this Thursday on June 26th. And then they'll hit the road on Friday back to Watertown to take on the Rams. And then we'll have 2 straight at home on Saturday, June 28th, as the Albany Dutchmen will come in for the first time this season. As against the Dutchmen, it'll be the free team photo night. And then for the game against Watertown, it'll be free party time cowbells as the Watertown Rams come into town for their second game against Elmira. Elmira looking to try and have a better game against the Rams this time around, as they shut out Elmira in their last trip to Dunfield. As new pitcher on here for Elmira in the bottom of the 8th inning, as it'll be Alex Satterfield out of the University of South Carolina. And he will lead off against the number 9 batter, Hunter Thomas. So the stats on the year for Satterfield, as it'll be appearance number 3 for him, as he has a 1-1 record, a 10.12 ERA, as he's thrown 2 2/3 innings, has allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. So those 3 runs that he gave up was the game-winning 3-run home run in Mohawk Valley in the 12th inning to the Diamond Dogs, after Elmira had tied it up on a 3-run home run late in the game. And the pitch here to Thomas is going to miss outside for a ball. So the count will be 2-0. So Satterfield, the third pitcher of the night for Elmira. Here's a 2-0. And that's a fastball called for a strike. Satterfield closed out Elmira's game yesterday at home against the Niagara Power. And now a fastball here. Looked like it was good, but it won't catch the inside part of the plate. And as the count will go to 3-1. And now one will come in here at the knees, so the count will go full 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the number 9 batter, Thomas. And a full count here with the leadoff batter, Carter, on deck. There's the payoff pitch from Satterfield. And that's going to be outside for ball 4. And it'll be a leadoff walk and a leadoff base runner for the Adirondack Trailblazers. And it'll be their first base runner since a one-out single by the man coming to the plate right now, Mike Carter, back in the 5th inning. But then he was out on a 4-6 and started a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. The left-handed batter, Carter, facing the righty Satterfield, swings and misses at a first pitch strike. Satterfield looks into Jordan Taylor for the 0-1. Checks the runner at first, a breaking ball. And that one's going to be fouled out of play as Satterfield, first time that he's thrown that curveball, kind of caught the batter Carter off guard, hadn't seen it. So he's ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Now an 0-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Elmira leading Adirondack 14-2. And Satterfield is going to hit the batter. And there will be runners on first and second now after Carter heads down to first. So that's the second hit batter by Elmira pitching tonight as Sam Sinnen hit the first baseman Williams all the way back in the 1st inning after getting the first 2 outs. And then Williams came around to score the first of Adirondack's 2 runs. And the pitch here swung on, hit out to right field. Clusian ranging over for it. And he's able to make the catch. The runner's going to tag from second, going to third. And he's going to get there. So Adirondack playing some aggressive baseball, trailing 14-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As it'll go down as an F9 for the left fielder Burns. As he's got an 0-for-4 night. As that'll be the first out. So it's runners on first and third now for the Trailblazers, with the first baseman Williams stepping in. Mark Williams, 0-for-2 on the night, and the runner going to second, no throw from Jordan Taylor. So that takes away a chance for a double play ball, at least up the middle. And as the runners now lead off second and third. Here's a pitch swung on. It is up the middle. It's going to be through into center field. They're going to send both runners. Here comes the throw from Dixon to the plate. It's going to bounce over the head of the catcher, Jordan Taylor. And 2 runs are going to score. So it's going to be a 2 RBI double for the first baseman, Mark Williams. And for him, that will be RBIs number 6 and 7 on the year. Came into the game hitting .206. And that's the 5th hit of the ball game for the Trailblazers. And that'll bring in the center fielder, Kornblatt. First pitch to Kornblatt's going to be a called strike. So now it's a 14-4 game. Here's the 0-1. It's popped up. Santisteban giving it a look, but that one's going to get out of play past the dugout of the Trailblazers. Satterfield trying to get out of the inning here. And allow just the 2 runs. Their first 2 runs for the Trailblazers since the bottom of the first inning. And this one again popped out of play over towards the concession stand of the Trailblazers. Count holds at 0-2. A runner leads off of second. That's Williams. Kornblatt had the first hit and RBI of the night for the Trailblazers back in the first inning, an RBI triple. And this one's going to be in the dirt, but swinging and missing it was Kornblatt. Now the throw down to first by the catcher, Jordan Taylor, will lead to the second out. As that will go down as a K2-3. That'll bring in the third baseman, R.J. Devish. Devish 0 for 2 on the night. Elmira 14 runs on 13 hits for Adirondack, 4 runs on 5 hits. And this one swung on. And that one's going to be by the shortstop into left field. They're going to hold the runner at third, as that one was right to the left fielder, Walker, and he got that one in quickly. So it's the second hit of the inning for the Trailblazers, and that'll bring in the right fielder, Longhurst. Jarrett Longhurst has 1 hit on the night. He's 1 for 3. The 2 times he hadn't got a hit, he's grounded out to the shortstop, Delir. 2 outs in the inning. The runner's off for second, and no throw down, as Devish will move up. And the pitch was a ball at the plate, so the count is 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch is a fastball called for a strike. Satterfield works around the low to mid-90s with his fastball. Did not pitch this last season for South Carolina after he had surgery. Now a ball hit to the second baseman, Skirpon. He flips to first in time for the third out, as Satterfield will get the Trailblazers to strand 2 runners on base, but they scored twice in the inning on a 2 RBI double from Mark Williams. And we'll head to the top of the 9th inning. It's a 14-4 lead for the Pioneers. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And we'll get set for the top of the 9th inning here from the Smith in Boonville, New York. Elmira leading the Adirondack Trailblazers 14-4. As the leadoff batter is Zach Bellinger, working against Brad Jones, who came in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning and was able to retire the batter that he was put in to face, Christian Santisteban, as Santisteban popped up to the right fielder and left the bases loaded for Elmira. As a pitch here is going to miss outside, so the count is 3-0 to Bellinger to lead off the inning. Bellinger has not walked tonight. He's got 3 singles, and the 3-0 pitch is going to be a called strike. He's got 2 infield singles, and 1 that got through off the middle. Also has an RBI tonight. He had a sac fly back in the first, and flew out to the left fielder, Burns, on another occasion. And now the count full here, 3 balls and 2 strikes after Bellinger was ahead in the count 3-0. Jones sets down the mound and delivers home, and that one is going to be fouled back, as right on the fastball was Bellinger. So it'll be Bellinger, Hilson, and Skirpon here in the top of the 9th inning. Bellinger looking to try and get on base here for the 4th time tonight. He's going to swing this one into right field. That's going to drop in for a hit. And it's going to be another single. So Zach Bellinger, after starting the night 0 for 2, has now got 4 singles in his last 4 trips to the plate. So it's another leadoff hit for Elmira to kick off an inning. That'll help Bellinger's batting average. As Bellinger came into the game hitting .260, this is his 14th game, as he came in with 13 hits on the year. Now up to 17 hits as the first pitch is a called strike to Taylor Hilson, who has walked 3 separate times tonight and has also struck out on 2 separate occasions. So 0 for 2 officially, as the count now 1-1. As he has scored a run, that was in the 6th inning. Has also stolen 2 bases. Some action down in the bullpen for the Trailblazers, should they need it. A 1-1 here from Jones is hit out into center field. And this one's going to fall in for a hit, as that one somehow found its way in between a sliding second baseman, Dan Priori, and the center fielder, Kornblatt, who was charging in. And Elmira is going to have their 15th hit of the night on Taylor Hilson's first of the night. And that'll put runners on first and second for Elmira for Taylor Skirpon. Skirpon has a 2 for 4 night going, and also an RBI. And this first pitch is going to sail high from the pitcher, Brad Jones. It was the 6th pitcher of the night. Got a fly out from Christian Santisteban to end the 8th inning, but now has allowed back-to-back singles to kick off the top of the 9th here. And now is behind in the count 2-0 to Taylor Skirpon. And the 2-0 is going to be fouled back by Taylor Skirpon towards the press box. So the count now 2-1. Pitcher Jones checks the runners, and this one is delivered. That one's popped up in foul territory over on the first base side. And that's going to be caught by the first baseman for the first out. As that one started to tail back towards fair territory with the wind here at the Smith, playing a little havoc there on the pop flies. So the runners hold at first and second. And that'll bring in Jordan Taylor, the catcher. Walked in his last at-bat and scored a run. First pitch to him is outside for ball. Both times he's walked tonight, he scored a run. On the 3rd and 8th inning. He's also struck out, popped up, and had an RBI ground out in the 6th inning. This pitch is inside, almost hit him, but he turned out of the way. So a single for Zach Bellinger, his 4th hit of the night. And Taylor Hilson's first hit of the night. Have runners on first and second for the Pioneers. There's a 2-0. That one's going to be blooped over towards the right field line. And it's going to be caught by the right fielder, a throw to second. And it's not going to be a time to try and get Bellinger, who was a little far off of the bag. And that'll be the second out. That'll bring in Derek DeLear, the shortstop from Elmira, picked up his first extra base hit of the night in the 8th inning. He's also got a single to his credit on the night. And struck out, grounded out, and walked. Elmira 14 runs on 15 hits as they lead Adirondack 14-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. There's the first pitch to DeLear. He swings at that one, hits it out to center field. Going back to center field, it's going to be over his head to the wall. Here comes Bellinger around third. They're going to wave the runner. Hilson around third as well. He's going to score. And it's a 2 RBI double for Derek DeLear to make this a 16-4 ball game. As Derek DeLear struck that fastball well, his second double of the night. Gives him his third extra base hit of the season. And it gives him RBIs number 8 and 9 on the year. As it looks like that'll prompt a new pitcher here for the Adirondack Trailblazers. As we'll see if we can find out who the new pitcher is. We'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll get the new pitcher for you for the Trailblazers, as Elmira has a 16-4 leader with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you as the Pioneers leading the Adirondack Trailblazers 16-4 here from the Smith in Boonville, New York in the top of the 9th inning, as they've got 2 runs in this inning on a 2 RBI double from Derek DeLear and a pitching change for the Trailblazers. Their 7th pitcher of the night, as it will be number 6, Tioshi Horibata, a 5'10", 108-pound right-hander out of the Philippines, a sophomore at Binghamton for the Bearcats. And on the year for Horibata, a 3.97 ERA, an 0-1 record. This is his 6th appearance. An 11.1 innings pitched. He's given up 9 hits, 7 runs, 5 of those earned. He's walked 6 batters and struck out 10. As he's got 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning and a runner on second. And the leadoff batter, Chris Kaluzdian, stepping in. Kaluzdian has got 2 RBI singles in his last 2 at-bats, an RBI single in the 8th and 1 in the 6th inning after his night started 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch from Horibata. That one swung on. That's it out to right field. Longhurst under it, and he's going to make the catch. So all Horibata needs is 1 pitch to get out of the inning, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Elmira leading the Adirondack Trailblazers 16-4 here on the Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off the bottom of the ninth inning here from the Smith in Boonville, New York, as Elmira will have a new pitcher on, their fourth of the night, as it'll be number 15, Tucker Rakuski. Elmira's closer. No safe situation here, but Rakuski will get some work with his team leading 16-4. And for Rakuski, out of Bucknell, his stats on the year, as this is his sixth appearance at 1.80 ERA. As he's pitched 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts as he's picked up 4 saves. And he has an 0-1 count here to the leadoff batter, the second baseman, Dan Priori, who was 0 for 3 on the night with 3 strikeouts. Alex Satterfield was able to pitch and get out of the 8th inning, did allow 2 runs. As an 0-1 pitch will miss high here for a ball. The count evens up 1-1. Satterfield gave up the 2 runs on a 2 RBI double by Mark Williams. Now the 1-1 from Rakuski is going to be popped up out towards center. T.J. Dixon ranging in. And the catch is actually going to be dropped here. As I thought making the catch was Taylor Skirpon, but staying at first is going to be Dan Priori, so that ball is going to fall in between T.J. Dixon and the second baseman, Taylor Skirpon, as it looked like Dixon had a good range on the balls. He's got great speed out there in center field, and Skirpon also got out there quick. So first pitch strike here from Rakuski after he gives up the hit to Dan Priori. There's the pitch from Rakuski, and it's going to be outside for a ball to the catcher, Cecilia. He was 1 for 2 on the night with a walk and a single. And now a 1-1 pitch is a call strike, so that's the first hit of the night for Dan Priori, who had been 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. As it's the 6th hit of the night for the Adirondack Trailblazers. Priori leads off of first. Nobody holding him on. Here's the pitch home, and that'll be outside for a ball. So the count will even up at 2-2. Priori on the base paths this year is 5 for 5 in stolen bases. As the pitch here is going to be dropped off of the glove by the catcher, Jordan Taylor, and they're going to call a strikeout at the plate. And as he had a snap throw down to second, thought Priori is going to be going, so that'll be the first out. And that'll bring in the number 9 batter, Hunter Thomas. For Rakuski. That'll be his 7th strikeout. Now he'll face the shortstop Thomas, who is 0 for 2 on the night with a walk and a run scored. Scored in the 8th inning. Priori leads off of first, and this one will miss low and outside for a ball. And the 1-0 is going to be laced foul down the first base line. As that one skipped off of the top of the fencing that runs alongside the dugout for the Trailblazers on the first base side. So the count evens up 1-1. And a throw home. And that will miss for ball 2. Elmira leading 16-4. As they got their runs early and often in this one. And this one is swung on, and that one's fouled out of play. Count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. As they scored 4 runs in the top of the first, 3 in the top of the second, 2 in the top of the third, and 1 in the top of the fourth. Then we're held scoreless in the 5th. Scored 3 in the top of the 6th. We're held scoreless in the 7th. and then added 1 in the top of the 8th and 2 in the top of the 9th. Runner Perori leads off of first after the single, and the pitch is again laced foul. There's a good job here by Hunter Thomas of fouling off these fastballs from Tucker Rakuski, making Rakuski throw some extra pitches out there on the mound for Elmira. And now this one missed low and away. So good eye by the shortstop to take the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Rakuski checks the runner at first. Nobody's holding him on. The pitch home. Swung on back up the middle. And it's going to be off of the glove of Skirpon, but he's able to get the ball in the air. And they will give that a hit. So that'll be the second hit of the inning and the first of the night for Hunter Thomas. And that'll put runners on first and second for the Trailblazers. And we'll have a pinch hitter here, as the new batter will be number 4, Riley Moonen, for the Trailblazers, a junior at Farley Dickinson out of Syracuse, New York. First pitch from Rakuski is going to be outside for a ball. Moonen batting for the designated hitter Carter in the leadoff spot. And the pitch is swung on. That's hit out to center. Dixon settling under it as he makes the catch, and the runners will have to retreat back. Well, that'll be the second out as Moonen swings on the second pitch. So they'll bring in the left fielder, number 9, Matt Burns. As Burns 0 for 4 on the night. Both runners on base here for the Trailblazers have reached via a single. As this one is going to be off of the batter Burns, and that'll be the third hit batter for Elmira tonight, and that's going to load the bases up here with 2 outs. And it looks like we'll have a pinch hitter here, as the pinch hitter will be number 14, Anthony Rohan, a freshman out of Youngstown State in Youngstown, Ohio, as he bats for the first baseman Williams. As a pitch from Rakuski is going to miss low and outside for a ball. The count is 1-0 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bases loaded for the Trailblazers. Rakuski sets on the mound and delivers home. This one swung on a chopper up the middle. That's going to get through into center field. That's going to get in front of Dixon. His throw coming in is going to come right to the catcher. So it's an RBI single for Rohan. And it makes this a 16-5 game. And it keeps the bases loaded. And that'll bring in the center fielder, Kornblatt, to work against Rakuski. And the pitch will miss low and away. And here's a snap throw down to first. As Santisteban tried to get the runner Rohan too far off of first base. And here's the pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and missed. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the Trailblazers potentially down to their last out. Here comes a 1-2 from Rakuski, and that's going to be outside for ball 2. Bases loaded for the Adirondack Trailblazers here in the bottom of the ninth inning. They've got a run in on an RBI single from Anthony Rohan. They trail this one 16-5. Rukuski checks the runners, delivers the 2-2. That one's going to be swung on and missed for strike 3, and that will end the ball game. So the Trailblazers leave the bases loaded, but Elmira is able to end the game on the strikeout from Rukuski, and they pick up the 16-5 win here and their first trip to the Smith in Boonville, New York this season, as Elmira will move to 10-6 on the year. And the Adirondack Trailblazers with the loss, it'll be their 6th in a row, and they will fall to 3-13 on the season, as the win in this one goes to Sam Sinnen, as Sinnen now 3-0 on the year for Elmira, and the loss for the Trailblazers will go to the starter, Raleigh Lacey, as Lacey now goes 0-1 on the year after making his second start of the season. So Elmira will have an off day tomorrow before hitting the road to take on the Watertown Rams on Wednesday, June 25th. And then they'll be home on Thursday, June 26th against the Utica Brewers. And on June 26th, Elmira will have Stitch's birthday night, and it'll also be Valley Home Center's night at the ballpark. So come out to Dunfield and celebrate Stitch's birthday and watch a Pioneers game. Also, Elmira will be back home on Saturday, June 28th, as the Albany Dutchmen come into town, as it'll be Free Elmira Pioneers flags, courtesy of Jubilee Foods. And then on Sunday, the Watertown Rams come in for a 5:05 p.m. first pitch, as it'll be Free Party Town cowbells at the ballpark. As Elmira now at 10-6 on the year, waiting to see what the Newark Pilots do, as Elmira came into the day just a half game back of the Pilots. The Pilots entered the day at 10-6. So right now, both of them with identical records, pending on what Newark did in their doubleheader that they had scheduled today. And that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight, as before we head out, our player of the game for the Pioneers in this one definitely goes to Christian Santisteban, as he goes for 5 RBIs, a 3-run home run, a 2-run triple, and also walks and scores a run, and Elmira's 16-5 win. That'll do it for our broadcast here tonight. Thank you for listening, and I'm Doug Page, bringing you live Pioneers play-by-play action here on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. So long until the Pioneers have their next game in Watertown against the Rams on Wednesday night. So long and have a great night.